In this tutorial, we will give you a brief overview of both the Parent Wellness Circle Facilitator Guide and the Parent Wellness Circle Program or Participant Workbook. I would recommend that you pause the video here before you go any further. And if you haven't already, download both of these resources, which are available just below this tutorial on our website. Click on the boxes there, one for the Parent Wellness Circle Program Workbook and one for the Parent Wellness Circle Program Facilitator Guide. And I think it will be helpful to you. You will definitely need them for the entire rest of the tutorial, but even for this tutorial, if you have them, it could be very helpful. I like to print them out and 3-hole punch them and put them in a binder, but however you want to reference them, whether it's on a device, in an electronic copy, or actually printed out copies, it will be helpful to you as we go over this in-depth overview of each of these resources.
So first we wanted to tell you about the Parent Wellness Circle Program Workbook. This workbook is what each parent will need as they work through the 6 weeks of a Parent Wellness Circle. You can order these already bound and stapled from the website, or you can print off what you need each week using the PDF that you've already downloaded. Either is fine, depends on your parents. Now I'm going to show you the inside of the front cover, which you'll see up at the top left is just a little thank you to Ab and Nancy Nicholas, who are the underwriters of the Samaritan Family Wellness Foundation. Then on the table of contents on the right-hand side, you'll see that at the beginning is just the beginning opening session, introductory information that each parent would want to know about, understanding a little bit about what a Parent Wellness Circle is, what's whole person wellness, what happens in a Parent Wellness Circle, the expectations, and an overview of what's going to be happening. Then you have 6 sessions, one for each one of the weeks that you will be meeting. Within those sessions, are the lessons that you will be reading together and talking about. There are places for the parents to write their goals and next steps and to do some note-taking as the weeks go on. Then at the bottom, you'll see they have the Parent Wellness Compass Inventory. These are 8 different areas of wellness, each having 10 statements that the parents will scale 0 to 10, depending on how they feel that area of wellness is going in their life. And then at the bottom, you'll see that there's something called a centering practice. This is a list of centering practices that they will be looking at in order to choose something over their 6 weeks. Now we're going to take a quick flip through the book so you can get a little idea of what it looks like. You'll see this is the beginning, the introductory part, where you're going to kind of be thinking about this and talking it over with your group. Before they get started, here we have session 1, and then you'll see that there is a lesson. There are things to talk about and discuss. It shows them about how to do the inventory, how to record their answers. Then what is a next step, which is what every week they're going to be creating next steps. It's a very actionable thing that they are going to try to do differently in the coming weeks as a parent. Chance for them to write and record their thoughts. Then each week has a lesson, as you can see, and next steps. So there's always within each lesson, with each session, there is a chance for a lesson of learning and discussion. And then there's the coaching part where you have them fill this out and then you discuss it one by one with each parent as they all listen to each other's next steps and learn from each other. Then at the back of the book, you'll see that there is the inventory. This is what they'll be doing during session 1. 1 page, 10 statements for each area of wellness. And in the back of the book, you'll see that we have a list of centering practices. They will be choosing one of those to help them calm down and be more reflective throughout the week. In the back of the book, you'll see a little bit about the authors, but then there's mention of the outfitting, Parent Wellness Compass Outfitting for the Journey book, and then we also have a companion journal that they can download off you can download off the website as well. And this, of course, is just a reminder because we did talk to you in the last tutorial about the Parent Wellness Compass Outfitting for the Journey book and the accompanying companion journal. And then there's, of course, the Facilitator guide, which we are going to talk about next.
Now we're going to take a quick look at the Parent Wellness Circle Program Workbook Facilitator Guide. This is your guide along with the tutorials, these online tutorials that will give you all the skills, all the information, all the confidence you need to run what will hopefully be your first of many Parent Wellness Circles. We open up the book, and hopefully you printed it out by now or have a digital copy of it that you downloaded. And once again, there's a word about our foundation and a thank you to Ab and Nancy Nicholas for their generosity in creating this foundation that supports this work. Let's look at the table of contents on page 2, I believe that it is. And you will look at, there's 3 sections you'll see here. Introducing and exploring, or what we would call the mindset of the Parent Wellness Circle program. This is the theory and the foundational key concepts that you need to understand in order to have confidence and success in running the Parent Wellness Circle. And then the facilitating is really the skill set for how to facilitate each of the 6 sessions. Okay? So mindset, sections introducing and exploring, skill set, the session by session guide for facilitating. So just a rapid look here again, when we talk about the mindset, some of the key concepts that are key to this program and how this program works. Then there's a little teaching about motivational and interviewing, and there's so much more you can learn about that. But there's a lot of great YouTube videos, and we'll recommend some of those as well. And I'll put a note here on the video about one of our favorite sites for a great introductory overview to motivational interviewing from Bill Matulik. Then we talk about stages of change theory, a well-known theory of that is important to understand why, because we're always trying to help parents create, design and discern their own changes they want to make, and then provide the support and the coaching they need to go through these stages of change. But also each component of our program is based on these stages of change, as you'll see. So just some of their just general ideas about facilitating and best practices in facilitating small groups. Then we look at some of the core tools of the Parent Wellness Circle program, the compass itself, the 8 areas of wellness, the inventory that the parents complete in session 1, which is in the back of their participant workbooks, the idea of a mindfulness or centering practice that is, sometimes groups really get into that, sometimes they don't. It can be very helpful to help reinforce this whole process of helping parents to slow down and move from reacting to responding and to choosing their responses instead of reacting more unconsciously and more in the moment. And then we, as I said in the back now, is the session by session guide. So each session has as we see here for session 1, there's an outline of the purpose and objectives for that session. And then there's time blocks broken down in the left-hand margins of how to facilitate each session. So here it is for session 1. And this is based on a 90-minute session, and you have to shorten that if you're going to do a 75-minute session, let's say. Here's session 2, purpose and objectives, and again the time blocks. Just point this out here. You'll see in the midst of each session there's something that says breakout session for large groups. And this means that, as you already know, we recommend 6 to 10 parents in a Parent Wellness Circle. But sometimes you may be asked to do, you might have a much larger group. Maybe you have 50 parents that are coming together. Then you can do the first part of each session up until the breakout session for large groups. You can do that as a large group because that's more the teaching component. And then when it's time for the sharing of their next steps, the coaching component, then you would break into smaller table groups. And hopefully each one would have a facilitator. Or you could rotate around again, however you need to do it. And then so you'll see that for all the rest of the sessions. And then so that's the session by session, the real skill set. And so you have that back. Let's go back to the beginning one more time. You have this broken into 3 sections: mindset, which is really introducing and exploring, and then the skill set. So speaking of the skill set and the session by session guide here, that's how we will structure the remainder of these online tutorials now. There will be 1 tutorial for each of these 6 sessions. So we'll do a deep dive on how to facilitate each session. And we'll, of course, be going back and forth between the participant workbook and this facilitator guide. So, without further ado, let's get started on how to facilitate session 1 of a Parent Wellness Circle.